Welcome back. Now, once in a while, we have the opportunity to meet someone who's traveled the world, someone who's been on multiple stages with amazing performances for different audiences. Today is one of those days. Former frontman of Antivalas for 23 years, Amayo Music, or Duke Amayo, as he's often called. He was credited for bringing Afrobeat to the global audience, leading it to become a genre of itself. He composed the Grammy-nominated Full Chronicles album for Best Global Album of Year 2020. It's a pleasure to have you here on set, Amayo.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back home.
Yes.
So where have you been based over the past, let's say, 5 years?
First in New York. I've been in New York for about 30-something years.
Okay.
And then the pandemic changed that location. I had to relocate to Atlanta.
All right, so you're in Atlanta now,
Yeah.
but you've traveled the world with your music.
Yes.
Right, with Antibalas.
Yes, I
Talk
have.
to us about that journey, how it started and where you find yourself today.
Well, it started 23 years ago. As a matter of fact, maybe even longer. Actually, it started here in Nigeria because my name means if you don't go, Amayo. If you don't go, you never know.
Wow.
So just like how I had to go to America when I was 17 and end up with a band after I left college and traveling the world with the band that I joined, as a matter of fact, and as well as studying martial arts and becoming a Sifu.
Wow. So you are a master, a teacher. Sifu
Yes.
is teacher, right?
Yes, teacher.
So you are a martial arts teacher and you are a performer. I saw one or two of your videos. You use, so I don't know if they call them weapons. Are they called weapons when you're talking about martial arts? I saw you with what looked like a staff.
Yes.
You were doing some moves on your pages, and you were obviously teaching over the pandemic. How did that go?
It went quite well. The pandemic was a perfect opportunity to connect with people in their homes so they can find new ways of, new ways of survival,
Okay.
because the pandemic was a very, very tough time.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in this era has ever experienced that. Some of us may have felt that in the earlier times. I was a baby, so I wouldn't even know how to explain that, but,
So I'm looking at your what's the word? The correct word is your physique.
Yes.
And how youthful you look, even though you have 23 years on the road on you, and that doesn't show on you. And can you attribute this to your martial arts or to your music?
Both, actually.
Both?
Martial arts first. Obviously, martial arts is the art,
Okay.
art of healing, art of understanding the individual, understanding yourself from inside. And music, helps you, put that all together so that music is a synergy of all your energies. So for me, Kung Fu and music is a perfect blend. And
We're going to touch on music now, especially with regards Afrobeats.
Yeah.
What sort of impact do you believe Afrobeat has had around the world from when you basically brought it to the stage?
well, it's a celebration of African culture. And you're taking the celebration of African culture on the road.
Okay.
That's how I've always felt about it. And I thought working with people that are not Nigerians is a perfect way for them to experience African culture. So I felt like I was a walking culture, if you will.
Yeah.
Because and I developed a lot of trust because of my martial arts lifestyle. And collaboration is something that I'm very, very familiar with, and I do that all the time. Okay. So the collaborative energy and trust has been one of my marks,
So talking Afrobeat, I've seen quite a few photographs of you with the likes of Femi Kuti, Made Kuti, our very own Auntie Yeni Kuti. And
yes.
we do know that you're going to be performing at Celebration this year.
Yes, I am.
Now, let's talk a little bit about being a Grammy-nominated artist
Yes.
And having the opportunity to work with artists from around the world.
It's like, I don't know how to say it. You could say, haven't arrived. to arrive at something that you have been hoping for and believing in, and then the world is catching up, you know. So it's been I'll say, a revelation of some sort, as well as an affirmation that our culture is very viable and our culture needs to be put on a better platform. And I feel I'm in a position, to help, manifest that. And in the practice, obviously, of manifestation, when you put your intentions out, you have to follow through. So I've been following through with all my interests, especially when I know my name means if you don't go, you never know. So going and getting things done has always been important to me. And here it's Afrobeat, and having, connected. I've been connected to the family for a long time, and I just feel like I needed to be in a place where I can be an ambassador, as a catalyst, of our culture. And Afrobeat is, I would say, like the palette that holds the African culture within it,
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, talking about the celebration, you're going to be performing at this year's celebration. How many times are you performing this year?
3 times.
3 times.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us where. Tell us where we can find you.
I start tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be at our OT's jazz place.
Okay.
And on Friday would be at Freedom Park.
Okay.
And on Saturday we'll be at the Shrine.
Amazing stuff. So is it exciting for you to come back home to perform?
It is. It's like a childhood dream of mine. It's like me coming back to my childhood, So every time I do come back quite often. So not to say that I don't come back very often. I'm always here, like at least once a year. But this time, presenting my art is very special, and it's so dear to me. And unfortunately, my mom is not here to witness it, but she's watching from the spirit world, and being a very, very deep spiritual person, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to sing to my Nigerian fellow men and women, and to remind us that our culture is right now on top,
So it's so interesting because am I right to understand that you are a grandfather?
Yes.
You are a grandfather, but you're also a new dad.
I'm a new dad.
Okay, so
and an old dad.
Let's talk about that dynamic a little.
Yeah.
Your youngest is, I think, almost 2 years old?
My youngest is almost 2, who we had during the pandemic.
Okay, pandemic baby.
Yes, pandemic baby. And you can see it right on him. He's so full of energy.
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, all we did was I was teaching every day at home, doing martial arts. So I was working on my chi.
Your chakra.
My chakra was at its peak.
Was on another level.
Yeah, so I can see it in this dude, in this boy. So I feel like he's gonna be the next.
But you have an older one, yes.
And I have a 10-year-old, and they were both, interestingly, they were born on the same day.
Wow.
9 years apart.
Good.
So every December 8th, we have to have 2 birthdays.
Amazing.
It's awesome, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
So how do they feel about your music?
Well, they embody the music.
Okay.
But my 10-year-old, she's starting to find herself now. And she started playing the flute. She plays piano. Okay. And I asked her, why are you playing the flute? Why did you choose the flute? She said, because I'm hoping one day I play in your band. Because I had a flautist that used to play in my band.
Oh,
so that was very nice to me.
Honestly, I can only imagine how proud you are of them. We connect with you, especially on the musical level. Thank you for teaching online, because those who don't get to they teach, and you have no idea how many people you're impacting through your teachings. They probably might not get the chance to say it, but thank you.
Thank you.
At this point, you need to understand why I'm gushing and so energetic on this particular conversation. We have a clip for you. Stay with us.